This new hearing aid from Starkey makes them the newest member of an extremely exclusive club. Hey guys, Cliff Olson, Doctor of Audiology and founder of Applied Hearing Solutions in Phoenix, Arizona, and in this video, I'm doing a detailed review of the new Starkey Edge AI hearing aid. Of all the major hearing aid manufacturers, Starkey is clearly the one that upgrades their hearing aid technology the most often. Just 1 year after releasing their Genesis AI hearing aids, they have now released their newest platform called Edge AI, and Starkey really stepped up their game with this new release. How did they step up their game? Well, they've added Bluetooth LE audio with Auracast capabilities, and they've even joined Oticon and Phonak as the newest exclusive member of the Deep Neural Network Club. Basically, the Starkey Edge AI is now using a deep neural network inside of their new G2 Neuro processor for signal processing. And the results are almost unbelievable when it comes to these hearing aids' ability to separate speech from background noise. And yes, I'm going to play an audio sample of this for you later in this video. But there is one thing that you have to remember when it comes to this hearing aid, and that is, it does not matter how awesome any hearing aid is unless that hearing aid has been fit and programmed properly by a hearing care professional who follows comprehensive best practices. Best practices are a long series of considerations and procedures including speech and noise testing, test box measures, real ear measurement, and validated outcome measures that are required to ensure that your hearing aids have been fit and programmed correctly. Unfortunately, estimates suggest that less than 30% of hearing care professionals actually follow these critical best practice protocols, which means that finding one of these hearing care professionals is extremely difficult. That's why I recommend that you go to my website, hearingup.com, and find a Hearing Up Network member in your area. Hearing Up members have been vetted and are committed to following comprehensive audiologic best practices to ensure that you can hear your absolute best. So if you want to guarantee that you get the full amount of benefit from a hearing aid like the Starkey Edge AI, then I highly recommend you find a Hearing Up Network member in your area to make it happen. Okay, now on with the review. So the Starkey Edge AI comes in 3 different technology levels: level 24, level 20, and level 16, with level 24 being their premium offering. Keep in mind that every single time you drop down in technology level, it takes features and customizations away from your hearing care professional when they're trying to optimize your treatment for you. So my recommendation is going with the highest level of technology you can reasonably afford. And if you cannot afford it, drop down to a technology level you can afford, and then it's the job of your hearing care professional to get the most out of those devices for you. It comes in both receiver and canal models like you see here in front of me right now, as well as custom in the ear models. For the receiver and canal models, they have the Edge AI RIC 312 that uses disposable batteries, the MRIC-R, which is their smaller version of the receiver and canal rechargeable hearing aid, and the RIC-RT, which is the larger rechargeable version that also has a telecoil inside. I should also mention that if you have single-sided deafness, you can also get a cross-transmitter for the RIC-RT and the RIC 312. Now, if you would like to check out my video of the best cross hearing aids here in 2025, I will link this video down in the description, as well as all of my other videos in my best hearing aids of 2025 video series. They also have a custom completely in-canal wireless hearing aid that uses a disposable battery, but also rechargeable custom half-shell and full-shell Edge AI hearing aids. You can fit a wide range of hearing losses with the Edge AI, ranging from a mild loss all the way up to a profound level of hearing loss if you use a custom encased ear mold with an ultra power receiver. The hearing aid that I happen to have in front of me right now is the Starkey Edge AI MRIC-R, which is their smallest rechargeable receiver and canal version of this hearing aid. You can see there that it has a single push button on the back of it. The larger versions of this receiver and canal device have a double push button. Let me go ahead and put it in my ear to show you what it looks like as I'm wearing it. And as you can tell, I'm a glasses wearer, so you'll be able to see how this interacts with my glasses as well. I do like what Starkey has ultimately done with the receiver wires, making them a lot thinner and a little bit more pliable compared to their older technologies that they had. They actually upgraded that with the Genesis line, that was their last line. But you can see here as I'm wearing it. Now, if you ask me, when I hold this in my hand, I don't really like the way that it looks, but as I put it behind my ear, I do actually think that it looks pretty nice as I'm wearing it. You might be thinking to yourself that these hearing aids look exactly like the Genesis AI hearing aids from last year, and you would be exactly right. As far as colors go, there are 7 different colors, so you can easily match your hair color, skin tone, or just pick the color that you like the most. Now, when it comes to durability, Starkey literally puts these things through hell. They simulate the most extreme environments possible in a laboratory setting that is way more than what these hearing aids would even go through in the real world. With their new trademarked Pro 8 Hydra Shield, the Edge AI now have 8 different protective layers to prevent moisture and debris from damaging the delicate internal components of these hearing aids. This gives the Edge AI an IP68 Plus rating, which is one of the best in the entire hearing aid industry, which means that it is extremely resistant to moisture and debris infiltration. Another feature that puts the Starkey Edge AI hearing aids among the best in the industry is their rechargeable lithium-ion batteries that give you an insane amount of battery life. The larger RIC RT hearing aids give you up to 51 hours of battery life, and if you like to stream with your hearing aids from your smart device, you can get up to 44 hours of battery life on a single charge. If you choose to go with the smaller MRIC R version, like I'm wearing on my ears right now, you can get up to 41 hours of battery life and 33 hours if you choose to stream. No matter what hearing aid you go with, you're pretty much going to be able to make it through an entire day with these hearing aids without having to worry about running out of battery, and heck, you may even be able to make it through part of the next day if you forget to charge them at night. The battery life is a pretty big deal for a lot of people because the last thing you need is to be out at a meeting or going out to dinner with your family and running out of battery and having to take the hearing aids out of your ears to get them back in your charger. Now, there are technically 2 different types of chargers for the receiver and canal devices and 2 different types of chargers for the custom in the ear devices. The one that I have right in front of me right now is their more basic version. It's called the Starlink Charger 2.0. This is the one that does not have an internal power bank. If you go with the premium version of this charger, it does have an internal power bank, which means you do not have to have it plugged in at all times. You can unplug it, take it on the go, and still have some charges stored inside of it. Now, this one right here, like I said, is the basic one. I will point out a few things here. You do have magnetic attachments, so when you actually put this back inside of the charger here, you can see that it kind of magnetizes it into place so it doesn't fall out, and it's very easy to remove from that once again. And then the well that we have down inside of here has plenty of room for custom ear molds. That is an issue that we do have with some other chargers that are out on the market right now. If you're someone with finger dexterity issues, it is super easy to open and close this charger as well. There's a little bit of a magnet pull that you can feel there, but it's very gentle and it's very easy to open up that charger when you want to get your hearing aids in and out of it. I also really like how easy it is to charge the custom Edge AI hearing aids because it is super easy for individuals with finger dexterity issues. You just have to pop them into the magnetic stand inside the charger and it automatically attaches to where it's supposed to attach to, and you do not have to make sure that you're as precise as humanly possible. That magnet really helps you out. While we're on the topic of finger dexterity issues, I do actually like the feel of that push button. It's very easy to find and it's very easy to click. Now, these push buttons can be set up by your hearing care professional in a variety of different ways, so make sure that if you do get these hearing aids, ask them all the different ways that you can have them set up so you can have these push buttons function exactly how you want them. All right, enough about the basic features. Let's get into some of the more exciting stuff, starting with the deep neural network that is being used on the G2 neuroprocessor chip that uses an NPU or neural processing unit to perform this deep neural network function. An NPU is a specialized computer processor designed to process large amounts of data with lower power consumption. This is all just a fancy way of saying that Starkey figured out a way of running a deep neural network with lower battery drain. One of the ways that they were actually able to accomplish this is that they integrated this neural processing unit into their chip, so they didn't have to have a secondary chip to offload this processing to. Now, if you haven't seen any of my other videos where I'm talking about what a deep neural network is, generally speaking, it is an artificial neural network that is developed by engineers, and they feed a bunch of audio information into it. So this deep neural network that acts like a human brain can identify the characteristics that make speech speech and make noise noise, so it can do a better job of separating the two. What engineers have figured out is that these deep neural networks are actually better at identifying these different characteristics of different sounds than what a human can do when they're having to create a man-made algorithm. The end result is an edge AI hearing aid using its deep neural network that is able to accomplish between a 10 and 13 decibel signal-to-noise ratio improvement in different background noise situations. Now, I should mention that achieving this level of signal-to-noise ratio improvement, which is massive by the way, is only achieved using the Edge Mode Plus feature. Contrary to popular belief, this signal-to-noise ratio improvement is not accomplished with just the hearing aids in their standard settings. Without Edge Mode Plus, you're only going to get around a 5 to 7 decibel signal-to-noise ratio improvement, which is still pretty good, but it's nowhere even close to a 10 to 13 decibel signal-to-noise ratio improvement. However, you can easily activate Edge Mode Plus from the My Starkey app. Right here on the home page, we have the Edge Mode Plus icon. We tap on that, and it's analyzing my environment as we speak, and then I can select the intent of what I want to accomplish, which is either best sound, enhanced speech, or reduced noise. Let me go ahead and play you a little audio sample so you can hear what these sound like.
Look, we all suffer from range anxiety with recharge. Our goal at Starkey was to remove the fear from hearing aid users that they'll miss out on one of life's most important moments due to running out of battery life in their hearing aids. And considering that, we wanted to go and look at what's the longest day that a hearing aid user might expect to wear their devices.
Now, if you ask me, you can definitely tell that there's an improvement when you're using Edge Mode Plus. Now, to me, I feel like it can sound a little bit harsh, but if the trade-off of you being able to hear and understand someone in a really noisy environment is that it has to sound a little harsh while it's doing it, I think that's totally acceptable. Although based on your particular wants and needs and what environment you're in, you may want things to sound a little calmer, so you can actually switch the different setting of Edge Mode Plus, or you can turn Edge Mode Plus off to make things sound more comfortable for you. There's also data that shows that your word recognition scores improve when using the enhanced speech setting within Edge Mode Plus, with a corresponding reduction in listening effort. Now, I've seen numerous people mention online that the Edge AI hearing aids are able to achieve a 30% improvement in speech understanding, which is not accurate. The 30% improvement is simply in reference to the Edge AI's ability to detect when speech is embedded in noise. Now, I typically like to look at HearAdvisor's laboratory testing data to see how different hearing aids stack up against their peers. In case you're unaware, HearAdvisor is an independent hearing aid testing lab that evaluates the performance of different hearing aids. During their review of the Starkey Edge AI, it did not rank very well for background noise performance, receiving a speech and noise sound score of only 2.6 after professionally programmed using real ear measurement. However, after discussing these results with Dr. Steve Taddy over at HearAdvisor, who conducts all of these different tests, they did not run these hearing aids in Edge Mode Plus. All of the testing done was just in their basic mode. I would presume that these hearing aids would perform significantly better if they were retested in Edge Mode Plus, and I do think that's something that HearAdvisor will do at some point in the future. It's also worth noting just how bad the Edge AI hearing aids performed in this testing when left in their initial first fit settings, which means that real ear measurement was not performed, versus when real ear measurement was performed on the tuned fit. This just reinforces the critical importance of you going to a hearing care professional who follows best practices when you're getting these hearing aids, because otherwise you are literally flushing your money down the toilet with the Edge AI hearing aids. That being said, if these hearing aids are fit using real ear measurement to do your programming, their performance is really good. Now, if you want to take your speech understanding and noise to an entirely different level, you should be doing auditory training with Lace AI Pro. Lace AI Pro is an app-based auditory training program that's like physical therapy for your ears. Their speech and noise training results in up to an additional 6 decibels of signal-to-noise ratio improvement depending on your level of hearing loss. And if you add that to the signal-to-noise ratio improvement provided by the Edge AI hearing aids, hearing in background noise will be easier than ever before. Lace is by far the most validated form of auditory training, having been around for over 20 years with over 80 peer-reviewed studies proving its effectiveness. To use Lace AI Pro, you need to purchase a license, but that license will give you lifetime access to this app, and anytime that they release new features, you're going to get automatic access to those as well. This includes modules such as speech reading, working memory, and understanding fast talkers, and there's even going to be a feature that's released, if it hasn't been already, where you can actually have someone who you have difficulty hearing talk into the app, and then it takes their voice and uses their voice for the trainings. Subscribers to the Dr. Cliff AUD YouTube channel have a discount code that I will have linked in the description, along with the link to download this particular app. Alright, moving on from all of the benefits of the Edge AI hearing aids and background noise, Starkey has also increased the input dynamic range of these devices from 108 decibels all the way up to 118 decibels, which is critical for those individuals who like listening to live music. They have also decreased their circuit noise by an additional 10 decibels, so you don't hear a static hissing sound if you have really good low frequency hearing while you're wearing these hearing aids. And Starkey has also improved their expansion feature, which gives you up to a 6 decibel reduction of different low-level background noises like the refrigerator humming or the dishwasher running. I will say that Starkey has also done an excellent job of reducing your risk of feedback with the Edge AI. Just remember that if you still run into feedback issues or whistling issues with your hearing aids, that you may need a custom ear mold to prevent this feedback and maintain optimal hearing at the same time. Another highlight feature of the Edge AI hearing aids that I briefly mentioned earlier in the video is the upgrade to Bluetooth version 5.3, which gives you the ability to use LE Audio and Auracast. Now keep in mind that the Edge AI hearing aids are still made for iPhone hearing aids, so it uses Bluetooth Low Energy to connect to iPhones, and it has the ASHA Bluetooth protocol, which is the protocol from several years ago that allows you to connect these hearing aids up to Android devices. Starkey does have a device compatibility webpage if you want to see if your smart device is supported. Now, if I'm being honest, I still have Bluetooth issues with the Starkey Edge AI hearing aids. If you've seen any of my older review videos of any other generation of Starkey devices, you know that one of my biggest complaints about them is that they have Bluetooth issues consistently. For instance, my Samsung Galaxy S23 phone has Bluetooth LE Audio compatibility, but it does not work with the Edge AI hearing aids, even though I'm running Android 14 on this phone. The problem is I can't even get my Samsung Galaxy S23 to connect to these hearing aids using the ASHA Bluetooth protocol, meaning that my Samsung Galaxy S23 phone is completely useless if I want to use it with these hearing aids. Now, I know you're thinking that it's got to be the phone, right? Well, the problem is that I've used this exact phone with other LE Audio enabled hearing aids, and it works great. Now, if you happen to be using an Apple phone or a Google Pixel phone, Google Pixel is actually working with these devices using LE Audio Bluetooth, but iPhone does not use LE Audio yet. They still use their Bluetooth Low Energy, like I mentioned a little bit earlier. So if you want one of the biggest, best features of these hearing aids, which is the Bluetooth LE Audio, you can't use an iPhone to get it. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what Auracast is, that's basically broadcast audio that's made possible by Bluetooth LE Audio. So if you end up going into a public venue like a museum, a church, a sports bar, a Broadway show, or something like that, you can take the audio from that venue as long as they have a Auracast transmitter and stream that audio directly into your hearing aids, which is going to be amazing. I should also add that Starkey did develop a Starlink Edge TV streamer that uses Auracast, so you can stream audio directly from your TV into your hearing aids using Auracast. This is actually a feature that's compatible with all of the Edge AI hearing aids. Now, if you're someone who does not have a smartphone, and if you don't, I don't even know how you're watching this video, to be quite honest with you. You must be watching it on a desktop computer or something like that, but they do have a remote control for these hearing aids as well if you do not have the app on an iPhone or another smartphone. The My Starkey app has not really changed significantly. You still have all the same controls that you had previously, including changing different programs, adjusting the volume settings, getting access to telehear remote care sessions with your hearing care professional, and using the self-check feature to diagnose issues with your hearing aids. It still has the Find My Hearing Aid feature just in case you happen to lose one or both of your hearing aids so you can track them down. It has the language translation feature, which works best if you have fast Wi-Fi connection, and a transcribe feature to turn spoken words into text so you can read them. Thanks to the motion sensors inside of these hearing aids, it also still has the fall detection feature to warn someone on your contacts if your hearing aids detect that you have fallen. And since individuals with hearing loss are at a 2.5 times more likely risk of falling, Starkey has also added a new balance assessment feature inside of their app. This balance assessment is based on the CDC's STEADY protocol, which stands for Stopping Elderly Accidents, Deaths, and Injuries. The motion sensors inside of the Edge AI hearing aids can evaluate 4 standing and 2 chair exercises that only takes a few minutes to complete. Once completed, it will let you know how you did and identify any areas of weakness when it comes to your balance. And you can use the balance and stability exercises in the Learn section of the app to help improve your balance. It is recommended that you discuss the results of this balance assessment with your doctor before you start any type of balance or stability training program. I should also mention that you do get some of these app controls on an Apple Watch as well, so if you're the type of person that wants to make some adjustments on your hearing aids using the Apple Watch, these are terrific hearing aids to do so. You also have a second app called HearShare where you can share usage data and activity data with people that you designate, like a friend or family member, if you want to have a second set of eyes on your overall hearing treatment and engagement. As you can see, Starkey has loaded their Edge AI hearing aids with a ton of great features that go way beyond just hearing better. Overall, these are clearly the best hearing aids that I have ever reviewed of Starkey's, and they're some of the best hearing aids that I've ever reviewed, period, on this channel. Of course, the signal-to-noise ratio improvement that you get from these hearing aids is clearly the best part about these hearing aids, but you only get that if you go to a hearing care professional who fits and programs these hearing aids properly, following best practices, which includes real ear measurement.